Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be a new first impression follow-up video, but this is going to be more of like rapid reviews. I do a lot of first impressions, trying new makeup hauls on my channel. I always like to come back after a couple weeks and give my full thoughts on everything after I've been trying them out. I was making the list for the 2 videos that I'm going to be doing a follow-up for today, and I realized that quite a few products in here I have touched on in some sort of way throughout the last couple weeks here in my YouTube videos, so I thought it would be fun to kind of challenge myself to do a rapid review video because I am not known for that. But I'm going to be reviewing just a bunch of different products in here. I'll have both of those videos linked down below that I am following up from. But if you'd like to see my thoughts on these products, why don't we go ahead and get started. Alrighty, I did want to say that I did film this look for a YouTube video. This one up on Friday. This is a look that was kind of inspired from Jennifer Lopez's makeup look at the Met Gala. So if you wanted to see that one, I will have that linked down below. But jumping into it, so again, the first video will be linked down there. I was trying out products from Marc Jacobs, Wonder Beauty, MAC, and also Colourpop. So the first item that I tried out in there was this eyeshadow palette from Marc Jacobs. This is the Steeletto eyeshadow palette. This is $49.50. You can find it at Sephora. Of course, we'll have everything linked down below. So I recently did a ranking new palettes video, so that is where I discussed this one a little bit more in depth. So I will link that video down below if you want to see me ranking 5 newer eyeshadow palettes to me. But I was so impressed with this eyeshadow palette. This was the first time that I was trying out Marc Jacobs eyeshadows, and the quality really blew me away. The mattes are extremely creamy, extremely blendable. There's a couple shimmers in here, and those were so beautiful as well, and more of kind of like this glittery shade here. So beautiful. I have done a lot of different looks with this palette and I've really quite enjoyed them all. You do get more of like a monochromatic look in here, so sometimes you're a little bit limited on the looks that you are doing, but I also don't mind that. I like smaller palettes, more of a color theme. Love the packaging on this one, very sleek, and I have been so impressed with this. This is a pricey little palette, but I did recommend it for the Sephora VIB sale, and again, I'm very happy with that one. That was sent to me from a subscriber. So I had a couple items sent over to me from Wonder Beauty, and I was excited to try them out. So the first one, if you've been catching up with my videos, you will already know what I'm going to say. This is the Wonder Beauty Nude Illusion Liquid Foundation. This runs for $40. I also did a ranking new foundations video that I posted recently, so again, I will have that link down below. This is included in there. I have 8 different foundations that I am ranking and reviewing. So impressed with this foundation. I'm wearing it today. I think that it's absolutely beautiful. I've mentioned it in my Makeup Monthly in the favorite section. I just think that it is a fabulous natural finish foundation. I'm a big fan of natural finish. I'm a big fan of medium coverage, and that's what you get with this one. Also, the wear time, the lasting power on this is just phenomenal. Big fan of this one from Wonder Beauty. Also did try out their sponge recently too. So I've been trying out the Wonder Beauty sponge. This runs for $12. I couldn't find this one on the Sephora website, but I did find it on the Wonder Beauty site. So you have kind of the slope here for the sponge, and I can't say that this one is a favorite of mine. I wouldn't really recommend it. I think that there's definitely better sponges out there. Again, $12 is not the most expensive, but it's just a little bit more firm, a little bit hard. Even when you get it wet, it still kind of keeps the firmness to it, and I feel like it's not as smooth and as like seamless to kind of blend out foundation with. I don't mind it. I will keep using it until I've decided that it's time to call it quits, but not a favorite of mine, and again, not one that I would necessarily recommend from Wonder Beauty. The last item that I have here from Wonder Beauty, this is their Unlashed Volume and Curl Mascara. This runs for $24. So this mascara I think has pros and cons. This is one that I haven't talked about yet, so this review might get a little bit longer, but I really do like this mascara. I think that it looks really pretty on the lashes. You have kind of this curved one here. It does really good things for both volume and lengthening. It's not the blackest mascara that I've ever tried, so if you really want something that's really black, this one I didn't think was super black by any means. I also didn't find a lot of flaking, transfer, smudging with this one, and that's a really big thing I look for, especially when I'm wearing mascara on my bottom lashes. I really hate any sort of transfer. This one I thought was really nice. I like the tube. It's a very dry mascara, which I tend to prefer. It's just a little bit easier to apply. I'm not worried about a wet formula kind of, again, getting everywhere even as I'm just applying it, you know, applying it, blinking, and getting transfer immediately. So I tend to prefer dry formulas, but this one is like really dry to the point of when I used it like 3-4 times, I was like, wow, am I like running out of mascara already? So that's like my biggest con with it, and this being $24, I think it's just a little bit too high price for me to really be like, yes, you know, love this one, definitely would recommend. I still think it's really nice and it has so many good qualities about it that I really wish that that last con was just a little bit different, because to me that's a pretty big con to have, so I'm kind of bummed about that. So this one was just ended up being kind of like so-so for me. I do like a lot of things about it, but I do wish that it would last a little bit longer, because truly when I just wore this yesterday and I had to apply like 4 or 5 coats for me to build it up. So that's not great. So unfortunately that one is the Wonder Beauty mascara. I like it, I don't love it, and it's hard to recommend at the price tag. I also tried out in that video the MAC Fleur Real highlighter, which runs for $30. I have already decluttered this one out of my collection. I was super unimpressed with that. I think I had it in my moving makeup declutter, and just I was really disappointed. There was a crazy overspray on that. It looked like such a beautiful pink highlight, but really it was just more of like a matte blush. Once you rubbed the overspray off, there was no actual shimmer to it, no glow to it. To me it was just a light pink matte powder, so I was pretty disappointed with that. I know I've seen some people say that they really enjoy that one and they like it as like a blush topper and things like that, and that's fantastic. You know, everybody has their own preferences, but especially for $30 and for something that says it's a highlighter, I wouldn't expect a matte powder, and the overspray just didn't make any sense to me. So that one, of course, I'm not recommending, and it's already been decluttered out of my collection. The next one and the last product that I tried out in this video are these Colourpop So Juicy Plumping Glosses. So I tried out a couple of them and I actually decluttered all of them to a friend. I was like, here, let me know what you think. Hopefully you like these better. And Colourpop actually sent a few more to me in a PR box, so that's just what I'm holding up here. But these are gonna go into a future giveaway, because I unfortunately also don't like these. I mentioned them in a recent Makeup Monthly once again, and I put them in the fail category. They are so thick and so goopy, and I'm just not a fan of that. I am getting more into lip glosses lately, but I like ones that aren't thick and goopy. I mean, I don't know, that's my preference, I guess. You could see in the video when I was trying them out that like my lips were doing super unflattering things in there, and it was just, I was self-conscious to talk, because I felt like when I talked you could see even like strength, like it wasn't good. Okay, I was very self-conscious about it. I tried them out a few more times just to be like, okay, you know, I exfoliated my lips, like let's see how it goes, and I'm just not a fan of these. They do have that, you know, kind of like that minty, pepperminty smell to them, and I think I see a little bit of plumping, but honestly I do with pretty much any gloss. The ones that I feel like I notice like an actual real legitimate plumping effect is the Buxom plumping glosses. Everything else I just feel like lip gloss kind of makes your lips have that illusion of being bigger, and that's what this one did, so I didn't really notice any like crazy plumping effects with it. But these were just a fail for me. Even though they're more affordable, they're only $7, I just wouldn't be able to recommend those from Colourpop. And then moving over to the second video. How are we doing so far? Woo! Okay, moving over to the second video, which is also linked. That is where I was trying out the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette. This one is $44. This one was sent to me from Urban Decay, which I was pretty excited about when I started playing with it, because I had talked myself out of buying this because it's a very neutral eyeshadow palette. I was like, do I really need this? Probably not. Honestly, the Urban Decay Naked palettes haven't been an absolute favorite formula of mine in the past. I will say I really do like the Naked Cherry, and surprisingly enough, I ended up really falling for this Naked Reloaded palette. Again, I have it mentioned in that most recent ranking video, and I just think that this is pretty fantastic. I've seen some mixed reviews on it, but I really enjoy it. The quality isn't, I'm not gonna say the quality of the eyeshadows is my most favorite eyeshadow quality out there, but I still think that it's really nice. I really enjoy the tones in here. Like I said, I am a neutral fan. I love that we have these bronzy shimmers in there. I think that it's beautiful. Every look I've done with this palette, I've been like, yeah girl, you're getting it today, like you know what you're doing, and I just really appreciate that. So again, I ended up liking this one a lot more than I thought I was going to, but I was pretty impressed with the Naked Reloaded. If you really do like the Urban Decay eyeshadows, or you're a fan of the Naked palettes, or you think that you would use the color scheme in there, I would recommend it. All right, so next up I have a primer. So this one here is from Milk Makeup. This is the Hydro Grip Primer. I was planning to purchase the mini of this, which is $15, but then I actually did get sent the full size from Milk Makeup, which is $30. So I was instantly really curious about it. Like I said, I immediately put it on my loves list. I was planning to get that mini. So I was really excited when this showed up. So you have a nice pump on it and it comes out, you know, it looks exactly like it is in the tube here. I struggled with this one for a bit because I couldn't figure out the best way to apply it. I noticed that when I was applying it, my face was definitely very tacky for quite some time. And then I also noticed when using this one that my makeup would start to pill up after I'd been wearing it for maybe even just like an hour or so. I would notice my makeup doing really funny things, and it was only happening when I was using this primer. So I was like, what's going on here? I did watch Babs Beauty and she recommended with this primer to put it on and then really let it set in for like 7 minutes before applying a foundation. And once I started doing it that way, I really do think it helped. So even though it's not something I normally do, I'm just generally used to when I sit down to do my makeup, I put my primer on, then I put my foundation on. Like, it's just boom, boom. But with this one, I kind of have to be aware, because I did use it today. I have to kind of be aware of like, okay, put it on and then like take a little break, or, you know, just don't put your foundation on right away. So it's like a finicky makeup product, but I still do like it. I do think once I kind of got the handle on it, it does do nice things for improving longevity with makeup. I paired this with the Dior Backstage Face and Body foundation the other day, and I was really impressed at how the Dior held up, because to me that's not the most longest lasting foundation that I own. But I noticed when pairing it with this one, I feel like it did help improve the wear time of it. So I think the makeup really is going to be sticking. You know, it's that gripping primer. I really do think that it does a good job doing that. I've worn this primer to a few weddings that we've had as well, and I've paired it with different foundations, and I've noticed that my makeup, you know, tends to hold up really well when I'm wearing this primer. So that's the biggest thing that I would say. I think if I did purchase this myself and I purchased the mini size, I would still be happy with it once I, you know, kind of got to get to know the primer and how to use it best. I don't know if I'd necessarily classify it as an absolute favorite of mine, again, because it's a little bit on the finicky side, but it's still really nice, and I do think that it helps with the longevity of makeup, which is a good thing. Also to chat about, I have this item here from Estee Lauder. This is the Double Wear Instant Fix Concealer. So on one side we have the Hydro Prep, which is basically just like a hydrating serum to apply under the eyes before you use the concealer, and then you have the regular concealer side as well. This runs for $28. The concealer side is more of like a flat paddle on both ends. I did review this recently in a Makeup Monthly as well, and I said that I liked it. It's not my favorite concealer, but I do quite like it. I actually do like the Hydro Prep side. I do feel like it's really nice when I'm applying my concealer over it. My eyelids just seem super smooth and just like prepped, you know, for concealer. It's just like a little tiny extra step of skincare that I do appreciate. The concealer is very, very liquidy. It's a very hydrating concealer. I don't notice that it lasts the longest, kind of like with foundations when something is like super hydrating or dewy or things like that. I tend to notice that it can break up a little bit quicker, and that's what I noticed with the concealer. So whenever I'm using this, I do set it with a loose powder to try to help with the longevity. It also doesn't have a very full coverage to it. It's more of like a light medium coverage. With my personal preference with concealers, I do prefer more full coverage but also more hydrating, so it's a little bit tricky to find. So for those reasons, it's not my absolute favorite concealer, but I do still think it's nice. I do have it on today. I think that it's pretty. I can see myself wearing this quite a bit in the warmer months, because that's when I tend to bump down the coverage, maybe go with a little bit less products. So I can actually see myself wanting to reach for this more in the warmer months. So definitely keeping this around. It was sent to me from Estee Lauder, and I think that it's pretty good. So next up, the final items that I have to review. I was so excited that Persona Cosmetics sent me over the 3 lip glosses that they recently released. So they have Peach, which is like a peachy pink, Honey, which is a nude, and then Toffee, which is a bit of a deeper nude. I was really excited about this. Like I mentioned, I have been getting more into lip glosses, and this is a formula that I really, really like. I actually do have Honey on today. I have a lip liner and then a Colourpop lipstick, but I blotted it a bit away and then I put Honey on because because I just really wanted to wear it and I really do like this formula. I reviewed these in Makeup Monthly and I was super bummed because I couldn't find honey. We were in the process of moving to a new city, a new home. I was losing things left and right and I was so upset, but I have since gone on to find honey, which I was so happy about because this really is my favorite out of the three. I have been wearing toffee quite a bit too, like especially when I lost honey. I was wearing toffee quite a bit. I do like the peach one too, but these are just, I'm just kind of like a nude girl, so those are my preferences. But I really like these. These are $16 a piece and they're also available at Ulta Beauty. So we just have kind of like the standard applicator here, a little bit more on the flat side as well. But I just like this formula because it's not too thick, it's not too goopy, it applies so nicely. You know, it's a lip gloss, it doesn't like last forever or anything, but obviously it's super easy to reapply. I don't really notice a scent with these or a taste or anything like that, but I've been really happy with this formula. Persona Cosmetics just has some really good releases. I've been impressed with so much from that brand. Started from another YouTuber, and I just think that Sona does such a good job on her product releases. She doesn't rush things. There's not a ton of releases coming out all the time, but what she does release is definitely very high quality, and I've been so impressed with that. So definitely would recommend the Persona lip glosses if that sounds like something that you would be interested in. But other than that, it's going to wrap it up for today's video. My shot at trying to do some rapid reviews in here, following up from some first impression of videos that I did. I would love to know what you thought of my reviews in the comment section. And as always, if you guys did enjoy this video, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video.